I am Supreme, and welcome back to Chosen Oracle Messages. This is message number 38 for the chosen. You will know when you are chosen because my messages will resonate with your soul. We are chosen because we are here to prove to the world that God, Spirit, the universe is real, and it is your responsibility and my responsibility to come back to save ourselves. So over here on this channel, I receive messages from the divine, from the universe, from the spirit, from God that teaches us how to move in our own energies, frequencies, and vibrations. We are examples of what happens to the human soul when we do not move correctly, in spite of the world, in spite of doctors, in spite of the government, in spite of the religious system. We are the example of what happens when you are not aligned, and we go through the example of what happens when you are aligned. We represent everything that the doctors cannot fix, the government cannot fix, money cannot fix, and religion cannot fix, for good or evil. Evil is a misalignment of good. When you're not lined up with your purpose, you will experience sicknesses. In fact, the type of sicknesses that no doctors can cure, because you are the doctor. So if you want a cure, you're going to have to wake up to yourself. You're going to have to raise your vibration. Things will touch you, but they will not stick when you are living in alignment. So I'm going to pull 4 cards. We're going to start out with 4 cards. That's going to open up a message. We're going to tap in to these energies, frequencies, and vibrations, Spirit. Give me 4 cards. That's going to open up a message for the chosen. For those who find message number 38. This message will find you when it's time. Boy, that iron been coming out all week. All right. So this iron been coming out all week, pretty much. The lion. Then we have the serpent snake. And then we have the world government. Speaking of the government and things that the government cannot fix. This is going to be a good message. First of all, the iron comes out when somebody's going through a period of needing to straighten out some things in your spiritual life. Straighten out the way you feel about certain people, places, and things. You want to make sure you're feeling correct. You're feeling right about the right thing. You don't want to show up as feeling good about the wrong thing, because that is exactly how your manifestations will show up. You send a signal to the universe and you tell the universe, this is how I want you to show up for me. However you are, however you carry yourself, whatever you say, however you feel, however you move through life, the universe is constantly manifesting based on your image. It's manifesting people, places, and things, situations, and circumstances that are made in your image. So look in the mirror of your life right now. Look at all the people, places, and things, your current situation and circumstances. That is the mirror. Look in that mirror. Can you look in the mirror of your life right now and honestly say you like what you see? Of course, you're not going to like everything, but guess what? You do need to know that everything you are looking at is made in your image. Something in the way you move and in the way you speak, the way you think, and the way you allow yourself to feel has been manifesting these specific situations and circumstances and specific parts of situations and circumstances that are made in your image. Why? Because we're chosen. We are here to set the example that this is how God works. So you have the responsibility of getting your mind together. It may feel like a curse in the beginning, because you will be experiencing through trial and error all the wrong situations, people, places, and things and events. Even things that the doctors cannot fix, the government cannot fix, okay? So there's a reason why you are stuck in that situation. Because the only one that's going to be able to fix that situation is you. Because that situation is made in your image. That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful we all are. But you are the example. It's going to require courage. Anytime the lion comes out, I'm speaking to a lion. You need courage. Think about the lion. Courage, strength. It takes courage and strength to survive anything. It takes courage and strength to still care. But this type of specific type of courage and strength, when the lion comes out in the midst of all these other cards that we're going to talk about, this is a specific type of lion. And I'm going to go over the rest of these cards to show you exactly what needs to happen in your life. The serpent snake came out. This is the Kundalini rising. I'm talking to somebody. You need to be brave enough to embrace this Kundalini awakening. Life force energy is sexual energy. Sexual energy is the strongest energy on the planet. That's why people suffer from it. Low vibrational people are suffering in their lusts. They cannot overcome it until they raise their vibrations. That's life force energy. That's literally God, the life force energy. Because the universe is all about energy, frequency, and vibration. God itself is pure energy. Energy is electricity. It runs through us, through our blood, through our veins. We are electric beings. So even when you are in your lusts, that is an electrical experience. You can't control your sexual desires, okay? From the thoughts that play around, that play back and forth in your head. You're trying to go to sleep at night, but you're tossing and turning because you have lustful demons in you. Religion calls them the incubus and the succubus spirits. But in reality, these are things made in your image. This is why it's important to not become a victim of pornography. Once you get those sexual images in your head, you are playing with your Kundalini energy, because the energy is always rising. It's eternal energy. So with it, you are aroused. Not just your body, your health is aroused. Everything about you is aroused. Your body, your health, your sexual organs. That arousal is what we call the horny experience. Now, you need to direct this Kundalini energy to any specific part of your body. Without using your head correctly, it's going to automatically express itself throughout the root chakra, because our root chakra is our sexual organs that will be aroused. We direct the Kundalini rising through our sexual organs, which is why as men and women we get aroused and we get horny for sex. But if you do not direct that energy, you will continue to stay horny for sex, because that Kundalini rising is only operating through your root chakra. You're not allowing that energy to flow throughout your entire being. You're limiting that energy through your root chakra, which is going to go through that chakra naturally, because that is the life-giving force. So when it goes through the root chakra, this is why we give birth to other beings. But see, Kundalini life force energy, which is what the serpent snake represents, Means you give, as this energy rises in you, it's designed for you to understand how it works. You give birth to people, places, and things. We give birth to situations and circumstances. You can give birth through the right use of your Kundalini energy to the right situation and circumstance that you keep waiting on money to make a way for you. You keep waiting on people to hire you, or you keep waiting on somebody to give you a chance to go back to school or go to college, or you're trying to save up that right amount of money. Meanwhile, the Kundalini energy, that's eternal energy, still is working. But we keep limiting that energy and putting that energy in the bank, when all you got to do is use that energy and your mind to focus on what you want. And the more that Kundalini energy arises, you use it to give birth. The sexual experience is doing everything you need to do nonstop, back and forth, whatever that may be. If it's operating through the root chakra, the back and forth movement is sex, in and out, in and out, in and out, until you come to a climax. I'm trying to keep I'm trying to keep my words clean, but I get raw and uncut over here any fucking way, so y'all already know that. So you keep going back and forth until you eventually succumb to an orgasm. Well, guess what? That orgasm is not just limited to the root chakra of the sexual organs. You can have a social orgasm. You can have an emotional orgasm. Okay? You can have a sexual experience with your goals, doing everything you know you need to do to reach a specific goal. Because once you reach that goal, that is the climax. That is the busting of the nut. That is the orgasm. So we need to expand our awareness of this serpent snake energy, because it is so powerful. It can work for you or against you, and you will be, don't ever become a victim of this serpent snake, because this serpent snake will be poisonous to your own energy. This is what creates the drug addict, the alcoholic, the hoe, the prostitute, the rapist, the predator. They're all operating. They are victims of the serpent snake energy. That is the negative kind of meaning of the serpent snake, which is why they attribute it to the devil. But the devil is just a story of the serpent snake, and so is God. The difference between the devil and God is you. But it's all about the story of the serpent snake, the Kundalini energy. The world government. The world government is what you are fighting. The world government knows exactly how the serpent snake works in all of us. You are in checkmate when your enemy knows exactly how you work better than you. They're playing on your emotions. The media is playing on your visions. That's why we have televisions. Okay? The music industry is playing on your emotions, your energy. It governs what you do frequently. The energies that you feel frequently, which causes you to vibrate at levels that you vibrate at. So whatever kind of music that you're listening to will determine how you vibrate. Different vibrations, you develop different tastes for different songs and different styles. So the government, the world government, knows all about you. Do you know all about you? Do you know how you work? This is a spiritual warfare. You work. You are chosen. Everybody cannot work the way you work. You are chosen to understand how it works. This is why this specific type of lion that's growing in you that you need to learn how to tame, this is a lion that no one on the planet will be able to tame. This is God having a human experience. Everything that you know about God, all of the understanding of energy, frequency, and vibration can be put under one term called God. That is the most popular term for the universe. So that is a language that we know how to speak. The lion is God in you having a human experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. You must know how this energy works. The serpent snake. This is also the symbolism of the medical field. The coiling serpent. That is the symbol of the medical field. Because they know how your health works more than you know how your health works. The thing is, the medical field is a business. You are made in the image of nature, not business. You have enemies of Mother Nature. They are here on this planet conducting business. Why do you think you pay bills? Light bill, gas bill. We're paying for natural fucking resources. Of course we have an enemy on the planet. Never psych yourself out and believe that you do not have an enemy on the planet. What do you think you get up every day and go to work for? Because the enemy rules the world. He does not rule the universe. The world is a mindset. The enemy knows that. We're just behind. We think the world is the globe that we live on. Or if you're a flat earther, whether you're a globe or a flat earther, who gives a fuck? What difference is it going to make? The power is the power. Doesn't make a difference whether you on a globe or a flat earth. You still need to learn how the shit works. So, this is why, that's confirmation. This is why we have to learn how God works. Earth is a school. We are in school. Are you passing? Are you paying attention to the teachers? And I'm not just talking about the people. Everything is a teacher. Every person, place, and thing in your life is teaching you something. Every situation and circumstance in your life is teaching you something. Are you paying attention to your teachers and what they are saying? Are you doing your homework? Are you passing your tests? Because this ain't a game. The enemy has us in checkmate. We must understand the object of existence. As a spiritual being having a human experience, we must understand the object. For further elaboration on this reading in your life, reach out to me in the links below. All of my contact information is there for a personal reading. Until then, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is message number 38.